Hi. Many students are intimidated by the concept of debits and credits. If you ask an average person on the street what they think of accounting, a lot of them will go, "Ooh, debits and credits, that's so scary." But by watching this video today, you're going to see how simple this concept really is and how quickly and easily you can master it on your own. Now, the first thing you have to do is erase what you already know from your mind about what the words debit and credit actually mean. Now, you've probably bounced a check, or you know someone who has, and the bank said, "Okay, we're going to debit your account." So you have it in your mind that a debit means a reduction or that you're decreasing, right? But not in accounting. A debit doesn't mean a decrease in accounting. It could mean you're increasing the account, or it might be a decrease. It just depends on what type of an account it is. So you've got to completely get it out of your mind that a debit means a decrease. It doesn't mean that in accounting. What about the word credit? You've heard that word before too, haven't you? If you return something to the store, then they tell you, "Okay, we'll credit your account for this." So you probably have it in your mind that a credit means an increase, but not in accounting. Some of the accounts are going to increase on the credit side, while others will decrease on the credit side. So there's no way a credit could mean an increase. All right? So that's step one. Erase what you think debit and credit mean, because in accounting, that's not what they mean. Let me show you what the words debit and credit mean in accounting. All right, but first, we better start by talking about the accounts. We keep track of everything in an account. Just like you keep your checking account to keep track of how much cash you have, a business would keep track of everything they have in accounts. They'll have an account for their cash, their payables, their revenue, their equity, their furniture. In fact, every asset, expense, liability, or stock, all of it is tracked in these accounts. Even a small business could have hundreds of accounts. Let's take a closer look at just one account. To represent an account, we're going to simply draw a T. Now, the left side of the account is called the debit side. Now, really, when you hear the word debit, I want you to only think of left. That's all it means. Debit means left side. Credit in accounting only means right side. In fact, I wish they didn't even use the words debit and credit, instead called it left and right. Now, some accounts are going to be increased on the debit side, and other accounts are increased on the credit side. So all we really have to do is memorize how to increase accounts. And it's very simple. We're going to use this little acronym that I call dead curls. Oops. There we go. Let's fix our C. All right. Once you get this memorized, it's going to be so easy. The accounts that will be increasing on the left or the debit side are the expense accounts, the asset accounts, and the dividend account. If the following accounts increase, you'll use the right side. Let's fix that again. Okay. If you have an increase of in revenue, you'll show it on the right or the credit side. An increase in a liability account is also shown on the right or the credit side. And the stock accounts, when you issue stock, they've increased, and so you'll show that on the right or the credit side. So really you see that we could use the word right instead of using the word credit, and it would mean the same thing. Now let's take a look at this and see how it would work in practice. Let's see how simple it really is. Let's say that you go to the bank and you borrow $10,000 and you buy a used truck. You have to ask yourself, okay, a truck, what kind of an account is a truck? Well, a truck is an asset. Has the asset increased or decreased? Well, I didn't have a truck on Monday and I've got one now. So that's an asset increasing. You'll show it on the left. So you'll go to the truck account because we keep track of everything in our accounts. And because this type of an account is an asset, we'll show the asset increasing by using the left side, only because it's an asset, and when assets increase, we use the left side of the account. What about the note payable? Well, what type of an account is a note payable? That's a liability account. Has the liability increased or decreased? Well, it's increased. We didn't owe the bank anything on Monday, and now we owe them $10,000. So an increase in a liability, according to Dead Curls, must be shown on the right side of the account. Now, didn't that work out beautifully? We have one debit and one credit. They're the same amounts, and we've just used Dead Curls to figure that out. Let's practice with one more. Now, remember, sometimes the accounts won't be increasing, they'll be decreasing. What do you do then? Well, you simply use the other side of the account. When it increases, you use the left or the debit side. If it decreases, use the other side, the credit side. All right, let's try another one. Let's say in this case, someone gave you $30,000 and you issued them some common stock. What two accounts are affected? Well, cash is affected, isn't it? We have cash now. What type of an account is cash? It's an asset account. We have more than we used to. That's an asset. It's increasing. We will show it on the left side or the debit side of the account. What other account is affected by that transaction? That would be stock, right? Common stock. We hadn't issued any common stock last week, and now we've issued 30,000 shares of common stock. The stock has increased. Increase in stock, that goes on the credit side because it is the S on curls, right? Follow Dead Curls. All right, very good. Let's close out with just one more so you can see what happens if the accounts are decreasing. Let's say that you made payroll this week and you've paid your workers some cash. All right, what two accounts are affected by that? Well, you're definitely going to have some wage expense. All right, so let's look at that account. We have wage expense. Now, wage expense, that's an expense account, right? When expense accounts increase, you're going to show it on the left. You hadn't had any wage expense last week, and this week you have $15,000 of wage expense. That's an increase in wage expenses, and so you'll want to show it on the left, according to Dead Curls. Now, the other account would be cash, right? Because you gave the workers some cash. The cash has decreased. Uh-oh, Dead Curls only shows you what to do when they increase. But remember, if they decrease, we simply use the other side. So cash is an asset. If it had increased, we would have shown it on the debit or the left side, but it's decreased, so we'll show it on the opposite side, the credit side. All right. Well, that's just a little tip, some few tips to get you started, but with a little practice, you'll be all set. Just make a little note card that shows Dead Curls and have it on your books and your notes as you practice and go through the homework problems and examples in your books using it. And before you know it, you're going to be an expert at using debits and credits. Good luck in the course.